popping in, say hi. Your hi does matter. Whether you're catching this live or you're catching this on replay, say hi because it does matter. Yes, I am indoors today. I'm on the bike today. I'm doing all the movements today because this is where the inspiration is going to be coming from. Indoors because it's warmer for today. I might go live later on also while I'm outside when I take my walk. But hey, this is when you're going to get it. So let's talk some communication skills. I am back in the space of audiology. I'm out here getting more um, listening and hearing skills worked on with our young ones and also with our older ones. So I figured I'll pop in and share some listening skills tips today whilst I am getting my movement. And so I can inspire you to do something that is good for you, right? So it's wrapping it all up in one. Communication usually speaks a lot about talking, especially as a speech therapist, we have focused a lot on helping people to communicate their thoughts. And I'm so glad a lot of people have been using AI to help them to get their thoughts together, to help them to sound a little bit more cohesive. However, AI can't replace us, right? You still need that human touch. You still need to be part of the process of the communicating to another person and to other people in your life. You can't just be there, not saying anything. So eventually you have to say something. And you got to work on how it's being said because it's a representation of you. Basically, that's what your speech is. It's a representation of you. So, let's talk listening. Listening skills has a lot to do with listening, has a lot to do with what you receive, being the receiver for messages. And it's important that you are open to being a receiver to messages. That's the first key thing of being a better listener. You got to first be open to it. Sometimes we're not even open to hearing things, we're open to speaking, but we're not open to the other side, which is receiving. So, my task that I'm laying out to you today is how to be a better listener is to close your mouth. That's the first part. Close your mouth so that you are open. Well, first being open, like I said, being open to receive, being open in your mind, mentality to knowing the others. Hey, as you pop in, if you subscribe, say hi. Your hi matters. I appreciate it. And then think to yourself, how can you be a better listener? I see you out there. I see you. I appreciate you. And that's the goal. We want to be better listeners in the world and not just better speakers. A lot of us love to speak. We love to hear our mouth say things. Elise. Elise. We love to have our mouth say things, but we're not really great at listening. And that's what this part is all about. First, being open to listen, being open that other people have something to say, to receiving the information. That's the first key. And close your mouth. That's the second one. The physical act of closing your mouth helps because it gives you the capacity to receive when you keep your mouth closed. And I'm not saying close it for the entire conversation. I'm just saying be very clear. I had a rule. I'm going to leave you with the third rule. I had a special rule, right? If I'm with someone and we're conversing for about 5 minutes and that person only talks, they didn't come up for air, they didn't ask how are you, didn't, you know, they didn't do any listening, then that's not a person who I want to have a conversation with anymore. Because, they want to speak. I get it. And I'll be a great listener. I understand. That's the purpose of my position at that moment. But they never came up for air to ask about the other person or to even listen. So I want us to be better listeners out there. Don't be that one, right? That's why I asked you guys to say hi. That's why I asked you to engage as I'm communicating with you, understanding that this is a two-way road. It's not just me speaking, but understanding the way you get to speak back to me is just by writing. That's why I say hi, because your hi doesn't matter. Because I'm actually paying attention to each person that comes in or to the other person. I'm open to receiving that there's not just me in this dialogue, in this converse, right? So the way I converse in this process is I was speaking, you would type, because that's the different way modality of how this stage is set up. So I see you. I see the words that you're saying. I see it as you pop in. I see it as you say hi. I see it as you engage back with me. I may not repeat it back because if I'm recording, then I don't want this to, I don't want it to have your name or have things that, anything that's personal. I don't want to disclose that. Hey, I see you. I see you. And if you tell me something specifically, I will say hello specific to that. Like someone just popped in and said, say my name. And I did, right? At least, there you go. I'm okay with that. So that's being a great listener. That's receiving. That's understanding that a conversation or a communication is a two-way road. Think about it like that. It's not a one-way road. It's not a one-way lane. You're not getting in that car and driving down that street and you're only going one direction and it's just you alone on the road. Communication is a two-way process, right? So you understand it is another process, another side. You know how they have the yellow line in the middle, right? Understanding that you're going one way, the other person's coming the other way, and you can't go into each other. So you can't be speaking and listening at the same time. You can't listen and speak at the same time. Somebody got to close their mouth eventually. So that's like sometimes I do walks and I'm quiet, right? I do really silent sessions because it allows those who want to speak. It allows me to go back later on and read what they're saying and receive because it's important. It's not just important for me to have a channel where I'm talking all the time and I'm expressing, but the purpose of the dialogue and of you typing or your modality of being able to communicate back to me in this process is you typing and writing. And that's why I say hi, because it does matter. I'm not having a monologue. I'm having a discourse, a dialogue. I understand these are the people on the other side. So I always leave space to open for that as we are navigating through this. So yes, I'm on the bike. I have done about 15 before going live, so I'm in my 20-minute mark. But I'm still moving, and I decided, let me just pop in live and check in on these folks and see how they do it. I don't want you to just be here and I'm not engaging with you. So for those who need movement and motivation today, then this is it. Get up and move. Or if you're laying down and you can't get up, then move still because movement matters. It's great for the body. It's great for the mind. It's great for the soul. It's great for the brain. So just move. Even if you can't physically get up out of the seat or out of the bed. Or if you're, a lot of people who have been discoursing with me have expressed to me the importance of me just coming in sometimes and saying, oh, I don't physically walk, but when you come live, it reminds me to move my hands or move my torso or move what I can move because I can move other things. And sometimes if it's just moving your mind, then move your mind, right? So I understand that this is my assignment for this space and that's what I use it for. I'll come in, I'll share things inspirational, what I'm sharing my journey as an autism mom and how I'm navigating through Zachary, or I'm just sharing some communication strategies as a speech language pathologist and audiologist. Then I'm trained in that space, ask your questions. It also gives you a chance to get some answers. And then as a coach, I mean, I'm just that one that people come and talk to and they're able to get some clarity and get a clear map and we're able to just discourse and get it clear and create patterns and help them in navigating the process so that they're not doing it alone. And God has just given me a divine assignment with aligned people to help them in navigating their journey, right? To help be a guide. I like to do some in person, some on calls, and some I just, we go to Aruba and we just spend the weekend. Hi, I see you. HY, hi. HALO, hello. Hi. So, yes, it matters. It absolutely matters. And everything matters, even when I do pop in live. Even if I'm doing a bike ride and I say, okay, I'm not going to be outside. Hi, I'm Dr. Allie. And usually I'm outside walking, but I'm in New York, so it's super cold to do the walk live. But I'm still doing movement on my bike, so I said, let me just pop in on the bike and just go live and inspire who needs to be inspired and share whatever message God gave me for the day. And this is the message that he gave me for today. So he said, help you to be a better listener, then help you to be a better listener. Who thinks they can be a better listener? All it does, all three things I'm sharing today that you could do is have the mindset and be open that you have a two-way road that's happening. So just be aware that you're part of a conversation. That's the first part. Second part is close your mouth. Allow yourself moments where you're just quiet and listen. I'm not saying to be non-responsive, right? But listen, because it's important. A lot of people have a lot to say, and it's part of being a dialogue. Sometimes I think we speak too much and we don't listen enough. And the last part is just trusting this process and understanding it's a two-way road. And you're part of a two-part conversation. So once you're aware that this is supposed to be a two-part conversation, draw awareness to it. Let the other person know I'm listening. Or lean in, or show some sort of body movement, or, I hear you. Nod your head. Let them know that you're here, you're active, you're present in the process. So that's the message, that I was given. Hope that helps you. And if you think you'd like some more strategies on how to be a better listener, then let me know, because I can share that too. I got a lot. Those are just three that were on top of my head. But I said, let me just help you through the process. And why I don't go into a whole bunch, like 10 tips on this. And it's because I like bite-sized steps, bite-sized pieces, bite-sized steps. That's how I coach. That's how I help people to navigate and guide, is not put everything on the table all at once, but give you it in a step-by-step gradual process. As soon as you finish with that part, come back in, let me know that's done, and I'll give you the next set of steps. And that's how we grow without getting overwhelmed. So you got a lot of little strategies all in this session, all in this quick pop-in. My mama says sometimes when I pop in that I give a wealth of information within those few minutes, because I never know. I allow God to lead. I allow God to lead in the conversation, to lead in my direction, to lead in whatever is communicated for that day. I may title it one thing and he may take me a whole different direction, but I know the key is being obedient, because somebody needs whatever he's giving me to give to you. So if you needed that at that moment, then just say, I needed this. And even though I don't do long ones, long lives, I say I'll pop in and give them about a 10-15 minute live of love of life, while we're alive, living, then to me I think it's still being purposeful and it's still being helpful to you on your path as you help to navigate your next steps. Right? So I was sent. So make sure you're subscribed, make sure you're following, make sure you're engaging, make sure you're talking back to me, make sure you're part of our two-way road, our discourse, our communication, so that we can all grow together. That's the whole purpose, right? To grow and be a little better each day and walking in our purpose for whatever we're purposed for, right? Only you will know, only God will let you know. But you got to be present in the process too. Can't just be me. I'm doing my divine assignment. Are you? That's the question, right? So, share with me if you want to any wins. This is the right time to do that. Feel free. Let me swallow. Let me drink some water. How about that? Whew. I know better. Keep those vocal folds lubricated. As we reach our mark where I'm going to pop off, I'm going to leave you with some moments that you can have for the day, for the night. Spend some time by yourself. Spend some time focusing on what is the next things that you want to get done. Make sure you pray, make sure you meditate, do whatever it is that you do as your practice, your spiritual practice. But do it, right? Don't put it off. Don't keep putting it off. That's the key in life. We got to get up and do things. Can't keep putting things off, because if we keep putting things off, they'll never happen. Sorry, but it's true. And then every day, focus on one skill that you can get a little better in. So the skill we focused on today was how to be a better listener. That's it. Every day, give yourself at least one skill to focus on being better in. That is the message of the day. Have an amazing rest of the day.